Hello and welcome everybody to the PGL Lobbycast. Oh, it did it again. It's just the Lobbycast. Welcome to the Lobbycast. This is episode 339. And just going to bring you some news today. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. I don't have anybody else here to hassle, so I will just get right to it. This week, the Xbox One had some news about its backwards compatibility, saying that it is theoretically possible since the 360 support is just running on an emulator on the Xbox One, that the original Xbox could also get some emulation love as well. So we'll see how that works out. They still have a lot of work to do to get the 360 support out the door, but so far so good from what I've seen. Everything I've seen has worked perfectly, so that's great. Some other Xbox One news: the streaming to Windows 10 devices, the laptops and PCs, got an upgrade this week. There was a leak of a setting that you could tweak that would unlock very high quality streaming. And then a few days later, Microsoft went ahead and released that just as a patch. So everybody has access to the very high setting. If you want to do some streaming from your Xbox to your PC, it'll now look a little bit better. And there's nothing wrong with that. We also had some NPD results this week. And PS4 continues to be on top, followed oddly enough this month by the Xbox 360, and then with the Xbox One in third place. And a lot of people have talked about doom and gloom for the Xbox One, but as we've said before, PS4 and Xbox One sales are both well ahead of what the PS3 and the Xbox 360 were at this point in their lifespan. So there is no reason to worry about either one of those systems. Let's see. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, yeah. So as far as software goes, Lego Jurassic World is outselling everything right now, but it does have quite a few more platforms that it's available for. Batman Arkham Knight is in second place, and really those two aren't a surprise, but the ones that were surprises to me are some of the ones that have been on this top or have been out for a while that are on the top 10 list, including Minecraft and Grand Theft Auto 5. The Rory McIlroy PGA Tour, I think, is a newer title. Elder Scrolls Online across all platforms. And then Destiny, Mortal Kombat 10, FIFA 15, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare comes in 10th place. So, there's some titles on there definitely been out for quite a while. And apparently they're still selling like crazy. So there you go. Let's see here. Well, I think that is about it for the news. There was a little bit that Smite for Xbox One has just come out of beta, and it continues to be 100% free, so you can download it for free and then play it for free. So that's always a nice thing. Everybody loves free, except maybe people who own the content. Maybe they might like some money from time to time, but I'm sure they have some ways to recoup that. So let me go ahead and get into the Weekly Whatchas. As far as music goes this week, I've really been just listening to some shuffle all. Been listening in my car. I've had kind of a busy week. Haven't had a whole lot of time for a lot of extra stuff, but definitely listening to lots of shuffle all. Definitely on my commute, and that's about it. I haven't had much chance to play much music at the house. Then, as far as watching this week, I'm up to date on Mr. Robot, which continues to be a pretty good show. I really like the twist that they kind of threw in this last week. I'm gonna have to actually watch this most recent episode again. I was kind of tired, and things were getting a little weird, and may not have fully grasped everything that was going on as I was popping in and out of consciousness. And then I also watched Hell on Wheels, which is a good show. I like that one. That's the Western show about the railroad, the railroad race across the country. And I'm up to date on Ray Donovan. It's also really good. I haven't been a huge fan in the past, but I really have been enjoying this season. So that's kind of nice. Have another good show to add to what I like. Killjoys, still watching that one. Kind of silly, but sometimes you need something a little more brainless to just kick back and absorb. And of course, with Kristen, she watched Criminal Minds or something along those lines. One of those procedural shows. So I see a little bit of that with her. Watched a couple of documentaries today with Tanya, or parts of documentaries with Tanya today, and that was fun. And a couple of movies. Last night I watched Captain America: Winter Soldier. Decided to bust out my projector and the screen for the backyard last night, and watched most of that out in the backyard. So that was really nice. The weather's been really good here, and finished that up in my bedroom because I was again falling asleep. And what else? Oh, no, I recently watched Run All Night with Liam Neeson, but I'm not sure. I don't believe it was this week. I think it's probably last week, but I don't think I mentioned it. So yeah, he just pumps out those surly tough guy action movies, and good for him. It's a lot of paychecks, lots and lots of paychecks. Outside of that, I haven't really had a whole lot of time to play much. I popped on to ESO to basically just do a little housekeeping. And I've also been playing Fallout Shelter, which is really my first mobile game outside of trivia. So I've been enjoying that. It's a fun little thing, and things tend to go south quickly. I had an incident with a rad roach infestation that killed off nearly every single person in my shelter, and that was kind of a bummer having to come back from that. But I think I'm all up and running again now. Have 36 shelter dwellers in there now, so it's been a fun little diversion whenever I'm doing other things. So I can just pop or turn that on real quick and do a few things, turn it right back off. So that's really why I've played as much of it as I have this week, because it's so easy to play for 90 seconds at a time, if that. So which is seems like all the time that I've had this week. So crazy times for sure. The last little bit, and this is, it's definitely more pop culture, and we generally avoid we don't avoid topical things, but we try to avoid bummer topics. We'll say farewell to recently departed celebrities and talk about what they've meant in their respective industries and whatnot, but we usually don't get too into much of anything else. And I'll keep this brief because it is such a bummer thing. But the big news this week is Jared from Subway getting arrested for child pornography and abusing children, and it's just such a horrible thing. And I don't know what happens to people to get them to that point. And I try not to be like conspiracy theorist or cynical about such things, but you have to wonder. There's a point where he stopped being Subway's golden boy, as far as the advertising campaigns go. And it just makes me wonder if whenever they're shipping him all over the country, if they started to suspect, if not outright see, like how sick of an individual this guy is, and maybe that's why they stopped, showing him on TV all the time and stopped parading him around the country, is because they got a glimpse of what a monster he was. I'd like to say that that isn't the case, that they had no idea, that nobody had any idea, but man, it's hard to believe with everything that you read about um, the kinds of things that he was getting into, that and the kind of things he was doing, ruining lives, um, that nobody knew. So I don't know. I just think it's horrible. Uh, it's such a cruel thing. Like I said, you're just ruining lives, because it devastates families and the individuals involved, and God, I don't know how much more I have to say about it. It's really terrible. So hopefully he gets every horrible thing coming to him. Yeah, I guess that's about it. I hope he suffers. That's not usually my stance on things, but man, there's some people just deserve terrible things. So, um, that's why I kept this to the end of the show, because it's kind of a bummer deal. But anyway, we will see you next week. Hopefully, I have more people on. I certainly hope that we're talking about happier things. Yeah. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching and listening. We love you guys. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you soon.